Hello! Welcome again to another edition of Practical English, your smart guide to the English language. I am your host, Peter, and I am coming to you as always by way of Sao Paulo, Brazil. I can't help noticing that the most popular videos on this channel seem to be ones revolving around pronunciation. So today I am going to give you some more tips on pronunciation, focusing on words that end in ed, which generally tend to be past tense verbs and adjectives. There are three basic ways to pronounce the final ed in past tense verbs and adjectives. The first is t, as in t-shirt. The rule here is, and like all English rules, there are exceptions, is they tend to be words where the dominant sound is a sound that you make with your throat rather than with your tongue or your lips. So examples provided here are looked, where the dominant sound is the vowel, and missed. For endings, general endings of words that end in the T sound are P as in P, K, S, CH, and SH. Root words that end in this sound take the T sound when you add ED. Oh, look at this guy, ain't he cute? This is the dog sound, D, as in dog. And the ED takes the D sound when the dominant sound of the root word is a sound that you make with your lips or your tongue. Examples here include arrived, because the strongest sound here is the V, and phoned, because the dominant sound here is the N. Okay, it is not arrived, it is not phoned, it is arrived and phoned. The biggest mistake most English learners make is pronouncing the ED as a separate syllable, which actually it very rarely is. It's only a separate syllable if the root word ends in a D or a T. For example, needed, invited. So let's take a look at some past tense verbs here and see if we can figure out where to put them. Our first word is asked, asked. That ends in a K, but the dominant sound is the vowel, a, so that is the t-shirt sound, t. Then we have called, called. That ends in an L, and the dominant sound is the L, so that is the dog sound. Next is checked, checked. That ends in a K sound, and the dominant sound is the vowel, so that is the t-shirt sound. Decided, decided. Here, this ends in a D, so just by reading it, you should know that this is the id sound. The ED is a separate syllable. Happened, happened. This ends in an N, which is the dominant sound. So this is the dog sound. Happened, happened. Lived, lived. This ends in a V. Actually, the root word ends in an E, but the E is silent, so keep that in mind. It's the dominant sound, not the last letter. Okay? The last letter pronounced is the V, so that is the dog sound. Lived, lived. Rented, rented. Ends in a T, so the ED is a separate syllable. That is the id sound. Started, started. Started ends in a T, so again, the ED is a separate syllable, and that is the id sound. And our last word is stopped, stopped. It ends in a P. The dominant sound is the vowel, which is made with your throat, so that is the T sound, as in t-shirt. And that's it. Short one today, but one that I think is really important for learners of English of all levels because these are common pronunciation mistakes. I hope that helped. If it did, please like and subscribe. Thank you to those of you who have been listening. And until next time, thank you very much.